Okay, good morning. You have a small ball for starters today. Let's go ahead and bring that kind of mid-calf so that you have some compression on it. You feel your ankles having to move together, your toes move under, and your knees end up under your hip joints. So you're not standing way out here where you would drop the ball. You want to have a good squeeze on that ball so that your inner thighs are a little bit engaged. And we're just going to roll our shoulders up, back, and down. Let's add an inhale as we lift up, pause for a moment, exhale, bring them back and down. And don't worry about what your ribs or anything else would be doing right now. A couple more. And then one more time, inhale, up, back, down. Let everything drop out, abs in, ribs down. And we're just going to do a little bit of calf work. As you lift up, try and pause for a second at the top. As you come down, try not to plunk down on your heels, right? So a little bit of awareness as you slowly lower, tap and lift and pause, tap, lift, pause. Good. And whatever you want with your arms, they can stay here. You can lift them. You can lift and extend them, whatever you want to do. And just make sure that you are muted so we, unless you want to be on screen. So if you're not muted, you'll be the person some of the time on screen, I think. 2 more times. Good. And pause, gently relax. Take a look, make sure you have a little red mark through your microphone. All right, there we go. Let's take that ball in front of the right thigh and behind the left, and we're just going to slide that left forward and back a couple times. Thank you, Piper, for checking yours. Good, we reach, and we reach, and we reach. Good. So we're bending that right knee, sitting into it. Again, arms can just stay here, balanced out here. You can lift and lower. 2 more. And to center. And now we're going to slide. And as you come in, what we really want is squeeze those inner thighs. So the last one was more about bending and straightening. This is still about bending and straightening that right leg. But we're also going to get that squeeze at the top. So we go back to that little pause that we did earlier when we were doing the calf raises. Reach, squeeze in, hold. Nice job, y'all. 2 more. And now we'll step a little bit forward with the right leg so the ball is in front of the left, slightly behind the right. And this is where we sit a little deeper, reach with those back toes and squeeze in. As you do so, kind of give those glutes a little tuck, pull those abs in, reach, squeeze in, reach and squeeze, reach and squeeze. Good, reach and squeeze. All right, shake that out. Let's take that right leg over the left. Up and over we go, reaching over to your left, pushing that hip to the right. And then bend into it a little bit, come up and around, and we're going to the other side. So now that ball goes back in front of that left leg, behind the right, but this time we're bending that left and stretching the right forward. Again, arm work if you want, or they can stay quiet. So leg is sliding forward and up, slide forward and up, slide forward, back to center. There we go. 2 more. Very nice. And now to the side. So we reach and then squeeze in, a little pause at the top. Reach and squeeze. Reach and squeeze. Bend that left knee, send the hips back a little, give that nice squeeze at the top. 2 more. And now we're going to slide that ball so that left leg comes a little in front, the right behind. We're going to bend that left knee, reach back, and then squeeze in, tuck those hips. So remember on this one, keep those ribs down and in, keep that chest nice and tall as we press and lift. Good, 2 more. Very nice, all right. And then again, we'll take that ball out, we'll cross that left leg over the right, arms go up and over to the left, to the right, sorry, hips go left, roll it down and around, and then bring that ball back between your thighs for a moment. Bring your hands onto your thighs, let's roll and extend. So we're rounding through cat and cow, warming up that spine a little bit more. And then you're going to leave that ball where it is, but you may want to take it out while you walk to the back of your mat. And then again, right between those thighs, so you have that awareness, shoulders back and down. Let's come back down to that bent position, round into your cat and extend into your cow. From that cow position, let's pull those abs in just a little bit. We're going to bring our hands down, slide it out, high plank position. Pull those shoulders out of your ears, roll forward on those toes, roll back on those toes, lift that left leg off the ground, come forward and back, one more forward and back, toes down, other leg, point, slide forward and back. As you do that, try not to hike those hips up, right? And then feet together, walk it back, press out, down dog for a second, pedal those heels, hands on your thighs, exhale cat, inhale cow, big deep breath in, come all the way up, bring it down. All right, little challenge this time. We're going to bring that ball in front of the right hip and bring that leg up so you're holding the ball. This is going to be maybe not a little challenge, maybe a big challenge. And you're going to try to come down, holding on to that ball, so a single leg here, right? And then find that plank, shift forward and back. Holding on to that ball. Make sure those hips are flat. One more time. Press back. Keep that ball connected to the rib and the thigh. Bend the left knee. And then do your best to come up on that one leg. We should have felt it a lot in the glute and hamstring. All right. Other leg. So ball tucks between the thigh and the rib cage or the belly, wherever it needs to be. Do your best to come down as flat as you can. Shift out, high plank, get those hips in line, forward and back. And then press back, keep hold of the ball, bend the right knee, ribs on the thighs, a lot in that glute, and bring it up, and bring it down. Both legs, I'm just kidding. All right, fall back between those thighs. Shoulders roll up back and down. Bend those knees, roll into cat, extend into cow, arms out to the side for a moment, drop those ribs onto your thighs, try to get the ball where it's touching those ribs, and then you walk forward one more time, high plank, shift forward and back. And then we get to come down onto the knees, press back, maybe put the ball on your heels so that as you push back, your hips have a little extra space. Arms out front for a little extra extension in that spine. And then as you come forward, we're going to put that ball in the middle of the mat so that as you come down, your belly button is resting on it. So all that's doing is giving me a little bit of spinal support. Shoulders go back and down, hands in parallel. Let's bring those feet in And then use your forearms to lift your upper body up and then squish the ball. Lift and squish. So it's almost like I'm doing a Sphinx and then a push-up, kind of. 2 more times. And now stay lifted this time. Make sure that you're hovering right above that ball, or maybe just barely touching it. Let's roll to the fronts of the thighs. From here, shoulders out of your ears, head in line with your spine. And I want you to lift, so you're 1/4 inch off the ball, tap it, lift, tap, lift, tap. So it's a tiny movement, and you do not want to feel this in your low back. Very small. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we're going to come up, and we're going to bring that ball in front of our thighs. And we're going to come back down. So I'm actually on the ball, not squeezing it. And then again, I'm going to lift my legs up in the air, but now my lower legs are on the ball. See how your body wants to drag? So I need you to lift up, press that floor away, pull the abs in, pull the ribs in, forearm plank, but paying a lot of attention that your abs are pulled in, back of the neck is long, and then relax. All right. 2 more planks. But this time straight legs if you're okay with it. So we go back to that one with the ball right underneath our belly button, shoulders back and down. Option to do what we did a minute ago right here, or if you're okay with it, tuck your toes, lift up. And then we do that same shift forward and back that we did earlier. And then relax. And then last forward plank for now. If you want to do the balance, you're going to put that ball either underneath your ankles or the tops of the feet or even the toes. And then you find that forearm plank position, press the chest away, pull the belly button in, lift the ribs, stay here, or you could roll up in a pike and plank it back down. Roll it up and plank it down, totally up to you. And then we're coming down, listen up. Just let your ball be in a place where you'll know where it is in a minute. Walk your right arm forward. This is going to sound, it'll make sense in a second. Take your left hand underneath as if you're going to do that lovely shoulder stretch. Start with that shoulder stretch, but then straighten your legs out and bend your right knee. Okay? So my left arm, palm is open. I'm getting a shoulder stretch. My right knee is bent. And now lift the right arm up, pivot, open, and you're in a twist. Ta-da! So now you should feel a nice twist across your chest, through your torso, but your hips might be maybe a little more stacked than usual. To come out of this, we're going to lift the right arm up. We're going to bring it across. We're going to press into it, still getting that left shoulder stretch. And then we're going to lift up and straighten our right leg. All right, I'm going away from you, so I have faith that you're going to do what you need to do. Straighten your left arm out, slide the right arm under, bend your left knee. So we're getting that shoulder stretch to start with. The back of my right shoulder is getting a nice stretch. And then I'm going to use my left arm. I'm going to pivot up and over and open up. So now I'm in that twist. Left knee stays bent over to the right. Chest is open. Hips are stacked. Torso twisting. Left arm comes back up and over. Press into that hand. You're getting that shoulder stretch one last time. And then we're just propping open for just a second with that chest. And then we'll just roll through a couple quick cat-cows. And we get to come down. That was quite a warm-up. Let's take that ball between our thighs, squeeze it in as we roll down, hug those knees in, and draw circles on the ceiling. Warming up that low back. Well, we warmed it up. Let's let it move a little bit. and then hug the knees in and let them move away. Just a couple like that, please. Beautiful. And then those feet go on the ground. Have your heels together. Your toes could be a little apart. Your knees obviously are a little apart because of that ball. Deep breath in. On the exhale, I want you to squeeze the ball as much as you can as you lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. And on the exhale, bring your hands down and you can relax the squeeze on the ball. Deep breath in. Exhale, squeeze the ball to lift the arms. Inhale, reach overhead. Exhale, down, release the squeeze. Inhale. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Inhale, arms reach and relax down. Again, inhale. Exhale, lift and squeeze, reach those arms. Exhale down, 4 more. Exhale to lift and squeeze, inhale to reach. Two more. Last time. Exhale, lift, squeeze, arms reach overhead, lift your legs and keep that little Pilates V with your feet. And then all you're going to do is move the ball below your knees. So again, maybe mid-calf. Then extend those legs out. See if you can bring your heels together for a second. Exhale, bend, tap your shins. Double leg stretch. Inhale, reach. Exhale, tap. Inhale, reach, stay lifted and tap. And reach and tap. Reach, tap, keep going. If your neck is bothering you, as always, your head can be down. You don't have to have it lifted. Check in with those ribs, make sure they're nice and flat. 2 more. Good, last one, hold it open. Reach with the arms. I want the legs to come closer, closer, closer. Pulse the ball. Push, push, in, 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 in. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a little break. Give that a quick hug. Left foot on the ground, right knee in tabletop. Ball against the thigh, hands against the ball. You know it's coming. Smash that ball. So you're pushing the ball against the thigh. You're pushing the thigh against the ball. You're pushing the hands against the ball, pressing the ball against the hands. Exhale, left leg floats and reaches, and you're in that single leg stretch. I want you to give me 4 pushes, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Everything back to starting position. Ball on that left leg. Try to reverse the stack of your hands. Tabletop position. Press with your hands, equally press with the thigh so the ball is getting smashed. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift, inhale, extend that right leg. And again, we're going to pulse 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch it up, other leg. And switch. So it's not just a little reach with the opposite leg. I want to see that ball get smashed, 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 and push, 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 push. This is intense on the low back. So variation would be ball behind the hamstring, pull, 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 pull. You should be able to be higher. Press, 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 press. But I'm not pulling my hamstring in, I'm pushing it away. Push it away, push it away, push it away. Again, press, 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 and press. So either variation, 4 little pulses. You should be feeling these, I hope. 2 more. And then hug those knees in. Oh, and hopefully we needed that. Ball between the knees, give it a big hug. Let the knees just gently drop, feet tucked back behind you for a second. Little quick twist here. Back up through center, other way. And then leave that ball between your knees as you come up. Pilates V with the feet, thumbs on your rib cage, pinky fingers on your hip bones. Inhale. On the exhale, push your index finger into that belly button so that your ribs and hips are flat and connected. Nod your head yes. If you need a little help, roll that mat up so you're saying yes in your neck. Inhale, knees move away. Exhale, squeeze the ball to come up. Inhale, legs move away, nice and controlled. On the exhale, squeeze up. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. A lot of control in that torso, making sure that that low back isn't lifting up off the ground, making sure those ribs are staying connected down towards the ground and towards your hips. 4 more. And then relax. Just hold the ball in your hands. Widen the feet wider than the mat. Let the left knee drop in. Let the right leg drop open. Bring your arms up over your left shoulder overhead. This should be a nice stretch on the front of that left hip flexor, down that whole left side, and then bring your hands above you. Bring the knees back to center. Drop the right knee in. Open the left. Arms come up and over a little bit to the right side. And then inhale back to center. We'll do that one more time. Left knee in, right leg drops open. That should feel pretty good. Arms overhead, back through center, other way, right knee in. And then everything back through center. Take that ball in front of the shins for a second, quick little break. And then we're gonna put that ball down on the ground and we're putting both feet on that ball. Your knees are gonna wanna gap open, but I need them to be the same distance apart that your ankles are. My ankles, because I have a small ball, are touching. So my knees are gonna have to be really close together. Press up in a bridge, and here we are. So maybe we're gonna hold this, or maybe we're gonna hover those hands for a little more work. Or maybe you're gonna squeeze, lift, squeeze, lift, squeeze, lift, or full range, all the way down, all the way up. Check out what goes on in your legs though as you lift and lower. Are they opening and closing? We don't really want that. Hands hover down by your hips if possible, doing your best, either full range lift or just pulsing at the top, totally up to you. Or just holding this, that's fine. 3 more. And relax. Our hamstrings should feel this. Roll that ball under so it's under your left foot. And then I'm going to move my right leg out of the way for a second, because what I want you to do is roll the ball forward until your heel is like that. See how my foot, only my heel is really on the ball, my heel and my arch. Okay, and then that right foot can go down. So my left leg is out ahead of me. And then we lift up in that bridge again. And then this might not feel so terrible. You could hover your hands, but when you're ready for a lot of love, you're going to put your hands back down. You're going to point your right toe up in the air. Keep those left feet flexed. Lower your hips, poke a hole in the ceiling. Lower, lift, lower, lift. Make sure your left toes aren't creeping down. Left toes point to the sky. Heel presses down. Just 2 more. Woo, yikes. We're going to take that left leg all the way over the right for a second. Arms out into a T and let the knees drop over to the right. So you should feel some nice stretch along the outside of that left hip. While you're over there, straighten the left leg. And now it gets a little more into your hamstring. And then bend that left knee, put it up against the right thigh. As you pivot back to center, big hip opener, outer hip opener. And then we got to do the other side. So you're going to roll that ball forward until your right heel is pressing down toward the ground, left toes point up. Lift up in your bridge. You're welcome to stay here with your hands hovering. Or when you're ready, hands go back down, left leg points in the air. We lift and lower. and relax. Woo! Roll the ball in, cross that right leg over the left. Let the legs drop over to the left for a second. While you're over there, if you want to straighten out the right leg, get a nice hamstring stretch, please feel free. And then as you come back through center, put that right foot on the outside of the left thigh and pivot back. And that's that deeper stretch. All right, so we did toe touches earlier, right? We were squeezing the ball. That's going to be your option if this next one doesn't work for you, because we are going to do a toe touch variation, but we're going to try and hold the ball either scooping out the valley of our abs or sinking those ribs. So you decide, and then if you're okay with it, it's straight leg lower. If that doesn't work for you, go back to bent knee or single leg straight leg lower. But just as before, the ribs and hips need to stay connected. Back of the neck is long. Or of course, this could be double leg lower. And relax. Ooh, ball on top of those shins for a second, little side to side work here. I'm going to roll up enough that we can put the ball between our shoulder blades. Fingertips, actually, let's get a little stretch here. So go ahead and cradle your hands together and give yourself some support at the base of your neck. Slide it up to the base of the skull, so you're going to feel your neck start to stretch out. Slide it to the top of your skull, let your body C-shaped curve. And then open your elbows and drop your head back into that support in a very neutral position. Then slide your fingers apart so your elbows can rest on the ground. So you should feel a nice stretch across your chest. Your head is in an alignment, so chin is nodding down. And then all I want you to do is slide the elbows away from each other, basically, so that your head lowers. And then exhale, slide up on the elbows. Inhale, they slide open. Exhale, they lift up. Up, right? So if you don't like that, right, then you can let those elbows lift off the ground, but you have to promise that they stay just as close as possible. So you inhale up and over, head nods yes, you exhale to close those ribs. Inhale up and over, close it down. Inhale up and over and close it down. 2 more times, up and over and close. Last time, up and over, close. Option to intensify by cradling your head in between your biceps, extending those arms. And now your fists are going to tap the ground. Ribs are popped up. Exhale, push those ribs into the ball to lift up. Inhale, up and over, tap the fingers to the ground. Exhale, lift it up. Inhale, up and over, and tap to lift. And then final add-on, if you want, when you come up, you lift one knee. Put the foot down as you go down. So again, just an option. So doing whichever works best for you. Make sure that your arms never come in front of your head, right? So lift from that rib cage area, nice job. Good. All right, let's take a break. Bring that ball to your ankles, hold on to it at your ankles, bring your forehead in between your knees, rolling like a ball. Exhaling to roll, inhaling to pause at the top. When you get to the top, or if you're not rolling like a ball, roll over and come up. Bring yourself up on top of that ball. Legs are wide, but knees are bent. And then find yourself in a tall position, right? So lift up through a hair on the top back side of your head. Make sure that you can't get your index finger between your hip bones and your thighs, right? So they're very close together. And then as you hinge forward, make sure that gets tighter, not looser. If it got looser, I'd be doing this, right? So it gets tighter. Then hands come down for support. I might even press to get my spine taller, and then legs can extend if you want, and you can begin to roll forward on the ball. So we get that beautiful spine stretch by tipping into that pelvic tilt. And then option, arms could be in front, they could be up a little. You can lift and hinge for a big challenge. And then gently bring that down, and we'll roll just enough forward that the ball can come underneath our sacrum, so that in a bent knee position, leaning back, we've got support, we have support, right? So we want to make sure we don't have any roundness in the shoulder blade. So put your hand back there and then lift through that chest. So everybody do that. Put your hand between your shoulder blades and then lift. Good. One more time. Hand between your shoulder blades and lift. Nice. And now we're here. Arms out in a T position. Make sure that that didn't cause this to happen, right? And then we're just rotating side to side. Big arm movement, sweeping side to side. Look at your knees when you come back to center. Make sure they're not doing this, right? You could even squeeze them together to make sure that you're, keeping that beautiful form. So it's just big rotations. If you want, the back arm can lift up, and that'll help remind you to stay lifted up out of that rib cage, out of those hips. Few more. And relax. Curl into that ball for a second, and then slide on up tall. Okay, a little bit of sideline work here for the legs. So let's put that ball down. You're gonna put your bottom leg on it, but about mid-calf. So my foot is hanging off the ball, and then top leg rests on that, and then bring yourself down. Check out your mouse house, right? So I'm gonna keep my top hand lifted, but I'm going to drop my ribs, lift my ribs, drop my ribs, lift my ribs, drop, lift, drop, lift, drop, lift, drop, lift, drop, lift, drop, lift. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ribs today lifted, mouse house stays engaged. Top hand on that top leg. I want you to push your bottom leg into the ball, and it should feel a little wobbly. Try not to wobble. Lift that top leg, toe down. Touch your toes together, lift that top leg, pivot, heel to heel. Top leg, toe down, and then top leg, heel to heel. And as you do this, keep the mouse house and keep your bottom leg pressing against the ball for extra challenge. If you're feeling this too much in your hip bone, your greater trochanter, then you can take away the press on that ball, right? And you could move that ball a little farther down if you're just feeling it too much on the bones, right? You should be feeling this top hip by now also. Yay, thank you. And we're going to relax. We're going to bend both knees and just bend that top leg a little deeper, give it some love. And then we're pressing up from there into a side plank. Ball comes with us. As always, if you want a little extra elbow support, feel free to double up your mat and then press up in your side plank. Put it underneath your hip or your thigh. Rest on it and then look at your body. So my shoulders, I'm a little askew here. I need to push my feet back and I need to push my chest back. And then when I come up off, when I come up off that ball, it's more challenging. So I'm going to tap the ball and lift, tap and lift, tap and lift. So what I did was I lined myself a little straighter. Now you can keep doing that. You can take a break. You can try the balance with me, which is always bottom ankle on first, top leg crosses over, so the foot goes on that ball, and then press it up. So you can do either of those. You can hold that balance for as long as you like. You could even try rolling the foot in 1/4 of an inch and rolling back out again if you want. And then when you feel ready, we're going to do that little series on the other side. So remember, it started with that sideline leg work, bottom leg on the ball. Oops. And again, it's about mid-calf, definitely above the ankle. Line it all up. Top hand on your top rib cage, drop the ribs, lift them, drop, lift, drop, lift. It might feel different on this side. Drop, lift, drop, lift, drop, lift. Top hand up, drop, lift, drop, lift, drop, lift. Leave it lifted, keep that mouse house, keep that hand up here. Top leg lifts, bottom leg pushes into the ball if that's not too uncomfortable. Then go toe down and toe to toe, and then heel to heel. And lift and toe to toe, rotate heel to heel, and lift and top, and lift and tap, rotating heel to heel, toe to toe. Nice job. And relax. And we'll bend that knee, give that hip a little love. Get ready for your next series, which is that side plank. Again, feel free to double up your mat if you like. Elbow right underneath your shoulder, push back, lift up out of it. And then as you're ready, come back into that side plank, put it under your body, and then rest for a second and see what maybe needs to move. My elbow needs to move back. And then lift it up, and then tap and lift, tap and lift. And then you can either stay with that, or if you want, you can do the balance. Bottom ankle goes on first. Try and leave a lot of space for the top leg, for the top foot. Sorry. Where are we going here? And then as you're ready, come on up. And just hold it for as long as you like. You can try a little lift and lower of the hip by rolling the ball towards you and away, toward and away. You can go back to the original one. Lots of options. And when you are ready, come on down. All right, we're going to go back to that position where we had the ball between our shoulder blades. So come on down, and remember how that keeps our chest lifted. So we're going to bring our fingertips to the edges of our skull. And once again, we're going to be really aware that we're not going to do any kind of folding like that, right? So all I want you to do for now is rotate towards me, put the front elbow as close to the ground as you can, but keep the back elbow open. Then I want you to lift the back knee, bring it in really close to your chest, extend it up in the air, and then move it in the opposite direction. So this elbow and this leg, I'm trying to get them as far away as possible without doing that to my head, right? And then come back to center, everything back to center, and put the foot on the ground. Rotate away from me, your back elbow goes on the ground, you stay lifted, your front knee bends, extends, and opens so that my elbow and my leg are trying to get as far away from each other as possible. Come back to center, take the leg to center, bend it, and relax. We're going to speed that up just a little bit. So here we go. On the exhale, I'm going to lift, I'm going to twist, I'm going to extend the leg. Inhale, reach it. Exhale, everything back to center. Deep breath in, exhale, lift, twist, reach. Inhale, extend. Exhale, back to center. Inhale. Exhale, lift, twist, reach. Extend, inhale. Exhale, down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift, twist, reach. Inhale, hold. Exhale, down. And keep that going. Just a few more here, please. Please. And when you've had enough, you have some options here. You can turn this into a nice stretch for your chest by just opening your arms, leaving your head where it is, or letting it drop back. If that's too much cervical extension, bend your elbows, give your head some support. And if that still doesn't feel very good to your upper back and neck area, then relax with that ball underneath your neck. It'll still open up that chest a little bit. And then you can play with some hand movements. So what you're going to do is let the thumbs rotate toward the ceiling and then palms rotate towards the ground. And that should give you a different kind of a stretch. And then thumbs come up to the ceiling and then palms open to the ceiling. And that will be your more typical traditional chest opener. Then thumbs rotate to the sky and then palms rotate down. And that should feel pretty good. You might feel a nice stretch across the back side of your arm that we don't always get. And then thumbs up and we rotate palms open. Thumbs up, palms down, thumbs up, palms open. And one more time, thumbs up, palms down. Bring that ball out from under you. Let's take a long extension, point through your toes, reach through your fingers. And then on the exhale, bring that ball to your belly button, tuck your hips under, hover it there. So you've got a long stretch on the back side of the body. Arms can still go overhead, but feet flex back towards you. And then point, and then flex and tuck. Point and reach, low back lifts up, exhale, flex. And then lastly, let's keep that left leg on the ground and bring that ball behind your right knee. Use the ball to hug that right knee in and pull it over towards your right shoulder. And then I want you to pull that knee as close to your shoulder as possible, but then press the tailbone down. But then pull the knee in, but press the tailbone down, and then do both at the same time. And then finally, roll the ball a little farther down, flex through the heel, push the knee down, press or point and flex through that foot, side to side windshield wiper and circle. And then we'll bring the leg back to center. We're going to roll up with the toe pointed, try and get that ball higher towards the ankle, shoulders back and down, flex through the heel, big stretch as you lie back down, bring the leg with you, if possible. Then bring that ball behind the knee again, squeeze it in, and let it come up towards your left shoulder. So we should be getting a nice stretch on the outside of that right hip, bring the right arm to the side, and then we twist up and over to the other side. As you come back through center, right foot goes on the ground. We're going to bring the left leg behind it, right? So that ball is tucked in there. We're going to hug those knees in and rock side to side. And then we're going to bring the knees slightly to the left. We're going to pull those knees closer so the ball might even be touching your chest by now. And then we're going to put the feet on the ground. We're going to bridge up, shift the hips an inch to the right, and then knees drop to the left as is. Come on back through center, bridge up, move your hips to the left, knees drop to the right as is. And then press back to center. Take the ball out, straighten out your legs. The right side should feel more lovely. Leave the right leg extended, bring that ball behind the left thigh and hamstring, hug it in, move it over to the left. You can hold onto the ball or your shin, bring it over, hug it in nice and close, but then put the hip down, hug it close, put the hip down, hug, but hip down, and then roll the ball down a little bit so you can flex that foot to the sky. Point and flex, rotate side to side and circle, and then bring everything back to center as you straighten the leg, roll the ball up to the ankle, point the toe, bend your elbows, flex to the heel, bring it with you, big stretch. Oh, roll that ball down, hug it between that leg again, left arm to the side, bring that right knee towards your, left knee towards your right shoulder. Big stretch here, and then as you're ready, you can drop it to the side. big twist. As you come back through center, tuck the right thigh behind it. Hug those knees in, a little bit side to side. Then bring those knees over to the right till you feel that delicious stretch on the outside of that left hip. Put the right foot on the ground, bridge up. Your hips are probably a little bit to the left already. If they skewed back to center, put them to the left and then knees drop to the right. And then come on back through center, bridge up, move your hips to the right and let the knees drop left. Move the ball and straighten out the legs, arms up overhead. All right, we're going to go to hands and knees. You have a lot of options. You can roll up, you can roll over. You could throw the ball and make yourself come get it. All right, let's bring that ball between our thighs as we come up. Hands out front, undulating cow-cat. I know you're making the noises at home, right? Melissa, are you and Piper doing this? Are all three of you guys doing it? All right, this time stay forward in that cow, but walk the hands back. Put your abs in, tuck the toes, hover your knees for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shift back, down dog. Feel free to pedal out your heels. And then bring your ribs onto your thighs. Meet me halfway. Give it one more cat. Meow. One more cow. Squeeze the knees together, hands to your heart. Lift it up. Big deep breath in. Happy Saturday. All right. Let's see.